Well, hey there everyone. So this week we're going to get back into some sewing, and since it is nearing October, and like I said, my October is full of different things, I'm going to do a little Halloween-y thing as usual, and I am going to make a witch costume, another one. So this is going to be a little bit different than last time's. This is going to be, dare I say, a little bit schmexier, because I might wear this to a Halloween party. So, I didn't want it to be like all the layers like you would see in like a Ren fair. Actually, you would probably see this in a Ren fair because it's a little bit more schmexy. And my cat is sitting on it. Ugh. So, this is kind of the idea that I had. So, big like poofy sheer sleeves, ties to like draw up the like skirt, and then a corset which will probably be white. And then a blue hat with maybe some like lace around the edge. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. So let me show you some material. So this is what I was thinking for the corset material. Very much needs to be ironed. So for the sheer sleeves and then the skirt, which will have a white underlayer, I'm gonna do this shimmery blue. And then for the hat, I'm probably gonna do this like Swedish curtain that I found. So these are all thrifted. I found these two materials at Goodwill and this curtain at Goodwill as well. So we're just gonna do kind of like a blue little witch vibe. So yeah, for the top, I'm likely going to use the Anna pattern that I made. Because I wanted to have like a little sweetheart neckline, and then I was kind of playing around with what I wanted like the sleeves to be connected to, if I wanted to make a whole separate like dress or skirt kind of thing, but I think I'm just going to tack the sleeves onto the corset and call it good. And then for the skirt, it's going to be separate, so it's going to have two layers, so the outer sheer layer of the blue, and then probably just like a white sheet for the bottom, just so it's not sheer. And then I'm going to end up connecting the ties to the waistband of the skirt, of both the inside and the outside, so that I can draw it up and tie it, and that like hoists up the skirt a bit. And then for the hat, I'm just going to wing it. It's not going to be as big as my other hat that I did. This one's going to be like quite smaller. Probably a way smaller rim, and definitely not as tall, and I'm gonna try and use some like interfacing to keep it up rather than a wire, because the wire wasn't entirely comfortable. So we're gonna mess around with that a bit. So that's kind of my idea. I'm feeling the witchy vibes, although it is still like 100 degrees outside. In my mind it's autumn and it is spooky time, so this is what I'm gonna be doing. And then if all is well, I can wear this to a Halloween party that I may or may not be going to. So I'm going to likely, I feel like I want to start with the skirt because that's the easiest part, because I'm probably just going to do like rectangles and then gather them and add it to a waistband. I think I'm gonna do the skirt first. We're just gonna do some rectangles and throw them in a waistband. All right, so skirt first. So I guess I will cut these out and then catch you back in a minute. So the skirt was super simple. Basically what I just did was I took massive rectangles of both the sheet and then the sheer fabric, and then I sewed them together to make the circle, and then I just gathered them to what I wanted it for my waist, and then I just threw the ribbons on both the outside and the inside of the skirt, which would then be sandwiched in the waistband for this. And then I did add a drawstring to the waistband of the skirt just so I could have it fit me a bit better. Then I hemmed just the sheet because the sheet doesn't really need to be hemmed because it doesn't fray. And then the skirt was pretty much done. After that, it was time to move on to the witch hat. So the witch hat is pretty much a super simple process. So you just cut out the 2 rim pieces and then the cone piece, and then I did put an interfacing on each of these pieces. After that, you take the cone piece and then sew it right sides together just along that curve, and then once you do that, you take the rim pieces, sew those around just the outside right sides together, turn it right sides out, and then iron it, and then you can sew the cone onto the rim. Then I ended up adding a wire to the rim of the hat just so it can keep its form and stay up. And then lastly, I added just a bit of lace onto the inside of the hat because you could see the raw edges, so I just wanted to make them look less ugly. Alright, it is day 2. So I did have to go back to Walmart last night because I needed some more interfacing for the bodice. But while I was there, I picked up a $5 Halloween broom. So I'm probably gonna dry brush some brown on this, like the black handle, because I want it to look a little less like this. So I'm gonna try and fix this up a little bit. And then for the hat, I know I said I was done, but I did pick up some of these, like little tiny rose appliques. So I'm probably gonna hot glue some of these onto the outside of the hat. And then I also picked up some of this ribbon. Let me take it out. Some of this to put around the like rim so it like kind of hangs down on the inside. So I'm gonna probably hot glue some of that on it too. And then yesterday I did shorten the white fabric of the skirt, and I'm probably gonna end up just cutting the outer blue layer as well, just to make it the same length because we're trying to make it kind of schmexy, so I might as well do that. So yeah, anyways, so I'm probably going to finish up the hat just a little bit, and then cut that final layer on that, but I might wait until I make the corset bodice part because I want to see how that all looks together, and then probably just cut it later. And there's no need to hem the blue part of the skirt because it doesn't fray, so just cutting is just fine. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the hat and start hot gluing these bad boys all over it, and then see if I can manage to hot glue this on well so it dangles, but we'll see. And then later, probably today or tomorrow, I will dry brush some brown onto this handle. It's not very big, but you know, it gets the job done, and it helps make my witch costume look a little bit more witchy. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Now for the corset, pretty much you just cut out all the pieces and then you just put them all together. And then once you have the outer fabric and the inner fabric, you just lay them right sides together and sew all the way around except for the bottom. Then I made boning channels on either side of the seams, and then I added my big zip ties, which acts as my boning. After that, I put in the grommets and then put a bias tape all along the bottom. Then for a little embellishment, I did put some lace along the top, so I pretty much just sewed it there and then I put a bias tape on top of it to cover the raw edges of the lace. Alright, so I am almost done. I have done the corset part and what else did I do today? I finished making the decorations on the hat and then I did dry brush some brown onto the broom. So the last thing that I need to do that I'm debating on what to do for is the sleeves. So I do think I'm gonna use this, which is the same thing that I used for the skirt. But I'm trying to decide if I want to make them like poofy sleeves or if I want to make them like flowy sleeves. I did try on like a shift underneath and I don't think I like that as much as I would like the blue like contrast of the sleeve. So I've decided to make this sleeve. I'm very tired, but it's the last thing I have to do. It's gonna take like 20 minutes. So I just need to get around to doing it. I'm procrastinating it for some reason. But yeah, I guess I'll let you know which sleeve I do. And with that, after the sleeve clip, I guess I will see you guys in the final look. So basically what I decided to do for the sleeve was make it more of like a detachable sleeve rather than sew it onto the corset. So pretty much what I did is I just cut out rectangles and then I sewed them long ways together. And then I created elastic channels and put elastic in it to match my wrist and my forearm or my bicep, and then that was it. And then I could just slide the sleeve on and off and it was done. All right, well, I think this turned out really good. I could definitely see myself wearing this to a Halloween party because it's like both, you know, I don't know, it just gives nice whimsical vibes. It's like cottagecore, but like still gives that like classic Halloween, like, you know, not super modest look, and that's kind of new for me. I absolutely love this hat. I love how this hat turned out. I was just like watching a video on TikTok and I saw their pattern and I was able to replicate it, thankfully. So I think that turned out really good. I love the little flowers I put on it. I love the little like lace I put around it. And I really love the color blue with it. It's just so cottagecore and witchy, and I love that. Yeah, I think the sleeves turned out pretty good too. I really didn't want to put a sleeve onto this corset so that I could wear this corset for like a pirate look or something. But I also didn't want to like make my own separate shirt. So I am glad that I came up with these little sleeve ideas, and it was super easy. It's just rectangles. And then you throw, you know, elastic channels in and then put elastic in it. And you got a sleeve. So that was also super great. I think the skirt turned out pretty good too. I think I liked that the outside sheer is a little bit longer than the inside sheet, because it still gives me a bit of coverage, but like, you know. And then I think the corset turned out really good. It fits me really well. I'm able to tighten it all the way, which is good. I liked the lace at the top too. It gave it just like a little bit more element to it. But yeah, altogether, I think this just turned out really cute. And I haven't sewn anything in a bit, like project wise, so I was really happy to get back into this. It's been a hot second. And then I'm glad I found a little witchy broom at Walmart. This was a very last minute thing. I'm glad that I did paint the handle, just to give it a bit, I didn't like the black handle on it, so, and the little dry brush just gives it a bit more of depth. So that's just a good element, and this is definitely something that I could take to a party and lose and not care about because it was $5. So yeah, overall, I think this turned out really cute. I'm really happy that I did this. I need some more sewing projects, and definitely with Halloween coming up, let's see. So I believe next week is the last week before October, and all of October I have this little thing going, so I'm very excited for that. Yeah, so yeah, I need to do something else next week, and I liked doing this little Halloween thing before Halloween. So yeah, let me know if you like this video. I quite enjoyed doing this video. That's a little bit different than what I usually do, than my usual style, but still cottagecore, you know? It still fits the style. So, anywho to do, if you like what I did, go and like and subscribe. I post most Saturdays, mostly at noon, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching!